Hi, Steve Harrison here with another Author Success interview. And with me is a guy I've just been so impressed with as I've met him, as I've worked with him over the years, Michael John McCann, author of a children's book called Purple Umpkin. And, you know, Michael John, I know people have different stories for why they wrote the book they wrote, especially if it's a children's book. For you, where did Purple Umpkin come from?
Well, I always wanted to write a children's book. It's something I wanted to do, and in life you just keep putting it off and putting it off. So the story came when my mother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. I finally said, I'm going to do something that I've always wanted to do and change my life a little bit. And so I sat down and I wrote Purple Umpkin. And she went on to be one of my biggest fans. And she just loved the book. And she read it almost up to the day she passed. But that's where it really came from, doing something I always wanted to do. But when the way that hit our life, it was just something that fit. And out of something terrible came something wonderful.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
And had you ever done anything like that before?
No, most of my writing had been financial. It wasn't children's books. I've written, some articles financially, had some things published, but not of this type of venue.
And now, where does the Purple Umpkin, where does that come from? Explain the concept to people.
Well, Purple Umpkin is a little planet next to Pluto, and we're all Merples there, and Merples really care, and Merples also make Earth purples, and it's a place of kindness, tolerance, love, and understanding.
Sounds like paradise.
It is. It's in between heaven and here.
That's great. That's great. And do you have like a main character that the kids follow? Talk a little bit about that.
Well, the characters, they vary, but they're all Merples.
Okay.
And we have Steve I. He's a character. We have the lady that wrote the Harry Potter books. She's a character.
Huh.
Yeah, and the rest of the people in the book, in this particular book, are actually real people.
Wow.
And yeah, that made the book even a little harder to write. Now, the next one, what I do is I add and I take people out. If they want to be in, they can be in again.
Okay.
And, that type of thing. But everyone in the book is real.
They're real. And then do you have, now is this, at this point, is it a series or is it still one book? How many of these have you done?
I have done one, but we have 15 titles.
Okay.
And I'm looking now at this time because basically I was slowed down. And again, I got to see you in Philly a couple times. I was lucky because I actually was a caretaker for two of my folks for 2.5 years at my house. So life was pretty jammed up. So finally, they both passed, believe it or not, within 12 days of each other.
Wow.
Up to 60 years, yeah. So now I have time to grow the book the way I really want. But we have the next one will probably be called Purple Umpkin, Grass Between Your Toes. Who knows? We have, titles like that.
Yeah, yeah.
We've got 15 of them already, like we'd like to do. And what I had done, too, is I built this slowly. Because we do have some dolls, we have some puzzles. We're a registered trademark. And now I liken it to, and I learned a lot from you and Jack. I've got a rocket ship. Now I need some people to help me fly it.
Yeah.
More, yeah, a little more. And that's how I'd put it, and that's what I'm looking to do.
That's wonderful.
TV show, some movies. We do have a couple short clips that can be seen on YouTube. RVP Little finds about the mayor of Purple Umpkin, things like that.
And and I've been impressed too with, I think a lot of times there are, people that write a children's book and they just kind of just don't do anything to get the word out about it. And you've found some ways to really motivate people to buy the book. Talk about that.
Well, what we did is my family, we ran the second largest homeless shelter in New England for over 30 years, our foundation. So I knew about feeding people, and I just wanted to continue to do that. So with Dad's help and some of his people's help, we set up this program, Read with a Child and Help Feed a Child, and we promote feeding children because 1 out of 5 children in America has no food. It's hard to believe, but that's the truth. And people really don't like to discuss it too much. They're taken back. But the program is doing very well. Right now, I do some promotion, and you got guys like Jeff Bridges doing promotions, Jeff Gordon doing some promotions. He's no people hungry, basically, and end hunger, so he does everything. But so it's really going, and I expect it to really grow. I work with Feeding South Florida, one of the most successful. No Kids Hungry, I really push a lot for, because they're a very good organization. So, you can make a difference. And then you go into the fundraising side and help fundraise. But we knew the industry for years, so we know how to get food to the tables. And that's what it's about.
So it's read a book, feed a child? Is that the phrase you're using?
Well, no, it actually goes read-feed-child.com, and I'll show you when you want it.
Okay. Yeah. So how does it work? So if people, how do you do this to actually feed more people and have people buy the book? How does it work?
Well, we ask them to buy the book, and what we'll do is with some of the proceeds, we give it to different organizations we know.
Okay.
And we also would use some of it to help give them publicity, because that's a big thing, is what they need. And again, you get a gentleman like Jeff Bridges, the good he's done for the organization he does, it's just incredible. So they need, varying things you can do for them. I did raise some funds originally, and now we're going more into promotion until we get a little bit bigger, or have somebody join right up with us.
So one thing I'm hearing is obviously anybody watching this who if they think in terms of giving part of the proceeds of their book to a nonprofit organization,
yes,
they then get that nonprofit organization to want to perhaps help them get some awareness and some visibility, right?
Help them promote the book.
Yeah.
And they work together that way, and it can work very nicely, because it's a cause. And then two, we do that. We feed the kids, but we also specialize and we work with people on teaching children the importance of reading. And I have a statement that I had written, and it is reading is the gateway to your dreams. Everything you do or dream of doing in life will come through reading. And that's taken off big. So I work with some people in New York. They've got reading programs. I have not been able to hook up with LeVar Burton yet, but I believe we will. He has a reading program too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He raised a lot of money on Kickstarter. And so he's got something too. But that's how you do it. You reach out and you see if you can help each other. And then I try to sell some in bulk. I try to meet people like that type of thing.
Well, talk about that, because that's the one thing I was impressed with, is how because I think a lot of people, they don't think about selling their book in bulk, and a lot of times even with the children's book, they don't think about selling that in bulk. So how many copies do you think you've sold so far of the book?
Oh, boy, I don't know. I don't know what I'd say. I haven't really followed it that way, because I've given quite a few away.
Okay.
So total with everything, given and sold, I don't know. I think it'd be about 10,000 or something of that.
Okay, about 10,000. Okay. So talk a little bit about some bulk sales, how that works.
Well, you go to corporations and you go to, individuals too, and you explain to them what you'd like to do.
So here's what I think would be helpful. Can you tell me a story about where you sold a fair number, a number of books bulk, who you went to, what you said, how it worked? Because I think that helps people get a picture of how they might do this themselves.
Okay, well, I went to a friend of mine and told him what I'd like to do. He's an IT guy, owns an IT company. His name is Mr. Lemo, and I went to him and said, if you buy some in bulk, what we'll do is we'll give some of the proceeds to help, feed the kids that need the food, and then turn around and we give the books, if you'll do this, give the books away to schools in your name. So now they get the great publicity, because schools need books too. And it's in a lot of libraries like St. Jude's already, and people like that. I had Maya Angelou as a supporter. Believe it or not, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
That's great. And how did you make those connections?
I use friends. I wrote letters. I sent letters. I sent books. If I had a connection anywhere, or I just even send a straight letter. I said, I'd like to, what do you think of my book?
Right.
Like that. I had asked Martha Stewart if she thought she could sell it. She said, I love it, but that's not my specialty. But let me, talk to somebody else. Let me, so there's so many ways. It's just, you can't give up, and you got to really see. And again, you said it, and Jack said it, you got to ask.
Got to ask.
Yeah.
You mentioned it was inspiring to hear the story where you said, you realized when your mom had Alzheimer's that it was time for you to do something that you've always wanted to do. So it sounds like for a number of years you wanted to do this book, but you just weren't. What was getting in the way, do you think, looking back?
Oh, just so busy with business, life, and you came up with other things. And, I'd write some papers for banks or commercial stuff that I did. And it was just, you never finally said, it's time. And I think many people do that. And, because I talk to people all the time, and I've helped a couple people gone over their books and said they're great, and here's some ideas, and they were doing the same thing. I think it's called procrastination.
Yeah, I mean, any words to anybody watching this who's kind of, if they feel like, oh my gosh, he's really telling my story, what advice would you have for them?
Do it today. Do it, because you'll get it done. You'll really appreciate it. And life is short and precious. Do it today.
Do you think it ended up being even more enjoyable than you thought it was going to be?
Yes. I love writing the book, and I love the whole book. But it is hard work.
It is hard.
That you can't get around.
You can't get around. What about for a children's book? How did you get the illustrations done and all of that?
Well, this book was completely accidental. I was going for my walk one day, because I walk and swim every day, and this a girl was drawing two Santa Clauses on a yoga shop window, and one had this attitude. One of the Santas went right up to her and said, "Hey, I really like your work. That's really, pretty amazing." And she goes, "Well, can I help you?" So I said, "Yeah, this is what I've done. I've written a book. I'm looking for someone to illustrate it." And she goes, "Well, I've never done it." I said, "Would you consider doing it?" She goes, "I sure would. Give me the story." So I got the story to her, and I got the story to a Disney illustrator. And they both did some, I sat down with them with ideas, and Leah just came back with exactly what I wanted and how I wanted it. And through our 60 meetings, I probably only had to change one or two things.
Wow.
Yeah.
So she beat out a Disney illustrator.
Yes.
Which
it was better.
Yeah.
The illustrations are very unique. They're very unique. Yeah. I could show you one.
Yeah, show us one. Show us the book or one. Show us some things.
Oh, I want to. Whoop. Oh, yeah. By the way, this is Zen Ripple. He wants to introduce himself. It's Zen. And I'll introduce his girlfriend in a little bit. She's Zenna.
And does Zen help you sell books?
Yes, and Zen is going to be. There'll be more. Yeah, there'll be more.
Well, talk a little bit. Okay, so this is the book, right?
Yeah, here's some of the Murples.
Murples.
Yeah. And they're beautiful little characters.
Yep.
Yeah.
They are cute.
Yeah.
And
this is
go ahead.
A little Arthur. But did I show you the book yet? No. Yeah, let me see if I can get it so it doesn't shine. See, it's a very shiny cover.
Pull it back just a little bit. Yeah, we get. Right. So and open it up so we see what it looks like inside.
I'll show you the good one. Yeah, because we did. Oh, all right. Now here is a drop of rain.
Yeah.
Now, the only way you can get there is you have to hop into a raindrop, and you will go up the rainbow. But to get into the raindrop, you got to go to the rain station. I invented a rain station. Very few people have ever heard about a rain station.
Now,
So
you bring a lot of fun and creativity to this, and you've also
right here's another one. Please, thank you, and okay. Okay, the three characters, and if you can see it, but it's please, thank you, and okay.
Well, you bring a lot of creativity to this, and even a lot of personality. We met Zen. I mean, are you going into schools and as part of a character and all of that?
Well, being the mayor of Purple Umpkin and the Wizard of Reading, I dress up as a wizard.
Yeah.
There's my hat, and I have my gloves, I have my cape. I'm a wizard. And this is what I got going. There's a picture of me going in front of the mayor and the city council of Long Beach, California, to present things. And I dressed up, and they got quite a kick out of it.
So it sounds
I'll go to schools,
Yeah.
I'll go anywhere. That's the one thing about marketing. You got to just go. Yeah. And, yeah, I'll do anything.
Well, I love the fact that you're having fun with it. You're bringing your creativity to it. And I think that's another thing that people can really take away from this is, not only to be aware of just people right in your midst who can help you. The friend that bought, how many copies of your book did he buy, by the way, to give to schools?
I think about 2,000.
So about 2,000 copies. So you was a friend. This isn't like we bought 2,000 copies. And then the other thing that I love what you're talking about is just creating a persona and a character and having a lot of fun, being the Wizard of Reading.
Yeah. Well, the Wizard of Reading. Yep.
That's wonderful.
And we tell people we are the new friends of the Muppets. We are, and I've had many people say, very Dr. Seuss, like characters.
That's
the way
right.
It rhymes. Yeah, and I've gotten great feedback. If you go to my site, you'd be surprised how many people really gave me some great feedback.
Well, people love your book. It's adorable. It's a great gift. And I think there'll be people that are watching this that might want to buy some copies and donate them to schools, whether it's schools that they know of, or do you have some arrangements with schools? I mean, is there a need that you know of people who would love to have the book? That
Yes. In fact, there's an achievement center here in Delray Beach. They've asked me to come, and I donated 120 books to them.
Okay.
It's really the right age, and now they'd like me to come speak and dress up and meet the kids and read to them.
Oh, that's great.
And that was my donation because they need the books.
Yeah.
And they raise money, and they do great work here in Delray with the real young kids.
Well, I know people are going to watch this and they're going to just say, I like that Michael John McCann. I want to buy some copies of his book. I want to support his work. So where should people go to be able to buy your book?
Well, you can go to, it's Amazon, but it's really better if you went to www.read-feed-child.com, and that will bring you to that site, which will bring you to purpleumpkin.com, or you can go to each one. And then we're also on Smashwords, and stuff like that, and Amazon too.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So it's Michael John McCann, the Wizard of Reading, author of Purple Umpkin, and creator of all kinds of fun things. Michael John, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Jenna says thank you. Say hi, Jack. Bye-bye now.